Hi guys, so happy Friday. I thought I would pop in. I know I have not been around all week. I will try to fix that next week. We are having a shift in our schedule at home, and with me being back to work, I think I had to kind of step away and just try to figure out what my new schedule is going to be. It's just going to be a little bit different, and I'll touch more on that next week as you know things as we get like a schedule going. I will talk more about that, but I was feeling like really like overwhelmed with everything and trying to get, editing done and trying to figure out when to edit. And it was just a whole thing. But I wanted to kind of give you still an update on how this week went. And this is our second week in the office after 14 months of being away, at least for me. I mean, we did have people in and out of office throughout this time, but the majority of us were asked to, stay home. Anyway, I kind of hesitated even talking about this because when I started talking about going back to the office, it seemed that some people took it as that I was whining and complaining and that I should have been more grateful that I wasn't one of those ones that had to be out there. And I felt like I made it very clear that I understand. I mean, my whole entire family, I'm the only one in my family that had, the advantage of working from home and not having to be out in the public. And which at first, working from home was really odd and weird. It was hard to get used to, but then yes, it did get comfortable. But there is a reality for those of us that are having to go back. And so I just want to tell you guys this weird kind of, I don't want to call it side effect because that seems like the weirdest word to use for this, because it wasn't like, I'm sick or anything. But so here's what happened. So last week I told you guys it went really well. I mean, it was nice and smooth. And then this week I even was thinking to myself on Monday, gosh, it's so weird how easy it was just to ease back into the office and into like a work schedule and being here and all of that. And I was, enjoying seeing everybody and just, all of that stuff. And it went pretty good up until Friday. Like it went all really good all week, except for on Friday. Then it started with the, just getting a little easily distracted and all of that. But I still made it through. Then Tuesday. And I didn't even think I got to go to work on Monday. It really wasn't even that big of a deal. I mean, like I said, it just seemed natural. And so, which was a good thing because we are really, really busy in our department. And so the last thing I needed was to feel uncomfortable, plus be super busy, plus just be, all the things. And so it was such a relief to not have that extra layer of anxiety on top of it. But I had this weird thing happen. So on Tuesday, I was at a meeting, and afterwards I just felt, and I was at like an in-person meeting, I just felt exhausted. Like not physically exhausted. It was definitely like a mental thing. Like I felt so stinking tired. And I mean, I've been having trouble sleeping. Because I have not been taking my magnesium sleeping powder stuff, which I didn't take last night, which I should have, because I did not sleep very good last night, but I took it the night before and I slept so good. So I think this is what's going on. Being in the office, there's this, well, for one thing, you guys know my home life, I don't have little kids. So my kids are older, they work, they go to school, my husband's at work, so I was majority at my house by myself with them, with to make sure my adult children coming in and out as they're going to work and doing their things. So for me, I didn't have a lot of stimulation or distraction. That was my fear with coming back to work, that was going to happen, the distraction, which like I said, that's not really what happened, but I hit this wall of exhaustion. And I honestly, when I started thinking about it, I was thinking my brain is like not turning off at all. Like it's just this constant oh my gosh, this is happening, there's people around, it's just, when I'm looking at my computer screen, out of the other corner of my eye, there's just movement everywhere, people moving, you hear sounds, I think that's what made me so mentally tired, because my brain never turned off. So then I would go home, and I'd do all the things, make the dinner, do the house stuff, talk to my husband, tell him about my day, hear about his day, my brain never had a chance to like relax and shut off. And I really think it's just this extra stimulation of being at work. So I just want to tell you all that I know there's a few of you that have told me that you have just recently transitioned to the office. So I'm curious to hear if you've had that same reaction. And then for those of you that have not yet made that transition yet, just beware. And I would say, like, one thing that's been helping me the last couple of days, one thing, I did take that magnesium powder that one night to sleep, and I slept so good because my brain totally turned off. It relaxed me. But I also have also had to start making that commitment again to turn off any like shows or, you know, even my podcasts, and then just read at night. It just not having the movement in front of my eyes. And now podcasts would be fine because you could just listen to that. But I listen to like the crime stuff, you know, so it gets kind of, you know, exciting when they're starting to, you know, read this stuff. But the book, you know, I could just sit there and just read the book. There's not as much, you know, just lights and flashing and things like that. And that has helped tremendously. But what a weird, like, thing to happen, huh? You know, it was just so weird that that was what got me about coming back to work. I was just so tired. It was the weirdest thing. But other than that, this has been a fantastic week as far as staying on plan. I actually haven't even had to think about it, which is a great feeling, which was what I was hoping was going to happen. I think being at the house, you have so much time to think about it. That's all you have to think about because you're working, but you don't have that added layer of stimulation of people and having to say hi and bye. How are you doing? How's your week going? You know, or just instead of, you know, messages between coworkers, you actually can go see a coworker, which I actually am enjoying as well, seeing, you know, people in person. But that extra layer, you know, is so distracting that I'm not even thinking about when my next meal is, which is what I was doing when I was at home. So this was so good. These last 2 weeks have been so good for that. And I was really hoping that that would be a good, you know, thing. So last week, you may remember I lost 1.7. This week I lost 2 pounds, and I not only lost 2 pounds, y'all, I also it was my time of the month. Like I started Saturday and I ended yesterday. So the entire week I was on my cycle, which also, mind you, it is back right on track. My tracker told me I would start on Saturday. I started on Saturday. This is what happens to my body. I can tell it's in a transition state because I'll go those periods where I don't have one for 2 months, and then I have a really bad one, and then I get back on schedule for about 6 or 7 months before it does that pattern again. So, I mean, about every 6 months, my body does that, which my doctor told me is perfectly normal. It's just part of my age. Yay. But anyway, I lost those 2 pounds even during that time. And like I said, with just not sleeping very well and all of that. My activity has been great. Having my watch on all the time and being able to close up my rings has been really good. One thing I have not done very good this last week, though, last 2 weeks, has been being on my exercise bike. And it's mainly because, you know, with me not being at home, I don't get to see my husband and my kids as much. So it's like when I am home, if, you know, my son's home, I like to talk to him, and if my husband being home, I like to talk to him because I didn't get to see him throughout the day or talk to him. And so my bike riding has definitely like kind of gone, you know, haven't done it. But I am definitely going to get that back on the schedule next week. Like I said, I need to get into a regular schedule. We're just waiting to hear some things about my husband's job. And as soon as we find that out and we know what our schedule is going to be, then we will, this drives me crazy, not having this like regular schedule with my husband's new job, which I will talk about next week. After I know more about it, I will tell you more about that next week. But I just wanted to check in, tell you how this week went, give you my weigh-in results, and I will be back next week one way or another. I will be back to my daily videos. This weekend I will have a grocery haul. I'm not sure what it's going to contain, again, because things are changing with our schedule. So I'm not going to have to be making as many dinners or anything. And so that's going to be a little bit different, but you will have a grocery haul, and you will have probably a meal prep video, and then I'll be back to my daily videos next week. I really wanted to get a Stitch Fix video up this weekend. I do have one I need to edit, but I think that'll be up next Saturday, which is fine because then I think after that, I have another box coming in, so I'll just have to space them out. This is the last Friday I have to work until August. Yes, I think August 6th is my last Friday I have off, if I remember right. So I'm taking some vacation days through June, and I'm taking them all on Fridays. And then July and all of July, our office is closed on Fridays. And then I think the first Friday in August, our office is closed. So I only have to work 4-day weeks from now on. And so I should be able to get some videos up. I have a huge list that I'm compiling of some videos I want to do that are not my normal videos. Some kind of fun stuff that I'm trying to come up with. So I'm making that list now. Then that way on those Fridays, I have an extra day that I can start filming. So I'm really excited about that too. I know I've been kind of promising that for months now, but I'm really hoping now that, I guess I just get back on a regular schedule, I'll be able to bring all those to you. So anywho, okay, I better get into work. I have 2 minutes. I will talk to you guys tomorrow with grocery haul.